What's up, and welcome to the second installment in the truck gun series. Today I wanted to talk about two alternate options to my truck gun setups that I like to kind of rotate through depending on whatever I'm concealed carrying for the day. If you're new to the channel, I previously posted about my primary truck gun setup, which is my CMMG Mark IV 300 Blackout. Is very minimalist approach. Flip up sights, red dot, keep it simple, stupid, right? Today's selections are going to be a little bit different. So why don't we just dive right into it? So the first option I wanted to go over is my CMMG Banshee. This is the Mark 57. Okay, this is chambered in 57. We'll go through and kind of review the firearm, and we'll go over why I selected it and why I have it set up, for this particular loadout. So it came with a threaded barrel. I threw the rail covers on just for a reference point. Flip up sights. I have a 45-degree offset sight. I have the Sig Sauer, I believe this is the Romeo 5X, accompanied by a 3X magnifier. I typically have my sling on here, just another single point sling, but I took it out just for the sake of this video. It kind of gets in the way of some of the features. Um, Absolutely love this setup. Originally, I was a little concerned that, all of this gear on here will kind of weigh it down. I'm of the firm belief that every additional piece of kit on your firearm is just another failure point. So I never want it to get too busy. But in that case, if all things fail, I've got my flip up sights, which I can do just fine with those. But this thing is tiny, right? This thing could fit inside of my briefcase. It can fit inside my computer bag, and still have 2 to 3 inches of wiggle. Um, so it's very compact. And the reason that I selected this and I have this loadout this way is obviously my 3X magnifier with my red dot for longer engagements and my 45-degree cant for not necessarily CQB. I think that is just an overused term, but for closer engagements, right? The reason I have this selected for my truck gun is whenever I'm carrying my FN57. The reason I have that is because these things are completely interchangeable. I can take this mag and put it in my FN. I can take my FN and put it in here. Yeah. Having that interchangeability, I think, to me is very important because should I have any critical malfunction in the field, it allows me to stay in the fight by having that interchangeability between the mags. Does that make sense? Okay, so for the second alternate that I have, you guessed it, it's another CMMG. This is the Mark 10 chambered in 10 millimeter. Now, know what you guys are thinking. Dude, this is your third CMMG. I'm not sponsored by these guys, right? I'm not sponsored by anybody. I bought these with my own hard-earned money. I just happen to like the platforms. Um, for a kind of mid-tier, I found them to be very reliable. I didn't have to break the bank, to build out my kit the way I wanted. And it's everything that I need and everything that I wanted. So, there's that. Um, Not being sponsored allows you to tell the good, the bad, and the ugly about a product without, oh my God, I'm going to not get paid. I don't have to worry about any of that, right? It's my channel. I do and say what I want. So this is set up exactly like the 5.7, so I'll kind of spare you of going through the same exact details. But if you can guess it, whenever I am carrying my Glock 20C, right, chambered in 10 millimeter, and C stands for compensated because it's got this fluted barrel and slide, helps to keep some of that recoil flip down. There is interchangeability between the two. I can swap this mag for my Glock, and I can swap my Glock for this. So should anything malfunction in the field, again, that keeps me in the fight that much longer. Okay? So that gives you a little bit more thought process to what you can have set up. And some people are going to say, oh, well, it's still a pistol caliber, and what if you need to reach out and touch something? I'm of the firm belief that most of your engagements are going to happen inside that 100-yard range, right? I'm not going to be out here taking 1,200-yard shots, right? So I don't need to have all that extra kit and gear on, because at the end of the day, this is the concrete jungle. This is very residential, right? So pick your gear based on your engagement. If you're in the country and you don't have a neighbor for 6 miles, yeah, completely understand. But I don't need to have the extreme long distance, right? This gives me all the capability that I need. And I'm doing is fighting to get to my truck so I can get the hell out of Dodge, right? I'm not sitting here looking for a fight. I'm not a vigilante, right? There's always somebody out there that's bigger, that's faster, that's more experienced, and sometimes somebody can just get lucky. I'm not willing to bet my life on it because, again, I'm a single father. I'm raising 3 kids on my own. I got to be around for them. So I keep these not because I'm out seeking trouble. I keep these because if trouble finds me, I want to be able to engage it, get out of it, and disappear, right? That being said, curious to see if you guys have alternate setups that you have that you like to rotate through your truck guns. Um, if not, why not? If you do, what are some of your setups? I'm curious to hear because I'm thinking about changing my primary to a 9mm PCC that takes Glock mags because I often carry a Glock 9mm. Um, so yeah, let me know what some of your thoughts are on that. As always, stay safe, stay tactical, and we will see you back here for another installment in the Truck Gun series.